right. Get out of. I have to get out of channel dashboard. And then go to my live one. 3, 2, boom. Starting. All right. I'm going to pause this. All right. We are live in Jitsi. Here's me, Ben, and Benjamin, and Dan. We're all here to work on my custom manjaro respin. Hope you guys are having a live kick-ass night tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and screen share for you guys if I can find it. Here it is. Screen 2. And I'm going to minimize my screen. All right. So as you can see, I'm SSH'd into my laptop. So let's see. I got to do an LS block. I'm going to throw this on SDA. So we're going to do CF disk.
I'm not getting no live stream.
Oh, that's probably because you need to go. Hang on. Let me. I don't know why you're not getting it, Dan. Hold on. Let me find.
Yeah, careful. Oh, thank God.
I didn't show it. Thank you. I'm not showing the stream key. Heck no.
Well, because it sometimes it takes a while for it to revert back to stars. That's why I said wait.
There. There's the actual stream thing. I just posted it in my other chat. There you go. That's the actual one they need to be on. There's 2 people in there. Okay, we're good. So we're going to... Something I should probably do before I do that is to disk zap all. I'm not doing NVMe because that would be so bad if I wipe my LFS. I do not want to wipe that command. Oh, wait. Sudo. Don't have SG disk on Manjaro. Really? Epic fail there. CG disk. Maybe. Let me get G-disk. Well, at least I got that one. Okay, there it goes. Good thing I know Manjaro pretty well. Okay, LSDA, GPT. I'm gonna do a 1 gig EFI partition. Why not? EFI.
Oh, Ben, did you change the link?
Yes, I had to because the stream.
Okay.
Yeah, because the stream was going funny. Who's messaging me? Sorry, somebody messaged me on my phone. Dadgummit. I'm going to give this a 10G swap. The rest will go to home. The reason I'm doing a swap is so I don't run out of RAM. Write it. And then we'll do a sudo nkfs. Actually, we'll just type in sudo. Okay, English. And I'm gonna do this. Yeah. We're gonna do pair installation. I already did the partitioning, so I'm gonna mount partitions. I'm gonna do SDA3. You see, folks, this is very similar to the to the old architect installer we used to have. Hi, TJ. How you doing, buddy? No, it's the same stream, Gnostic. This is just the link change. If you want to
Yeah,
join,
the other stream you started, I left a message in it to use the link you posted.
yeah, TJ. If you want to join us in Jitsi, go ahead, man. You just got to create a username when you log in. That's all. For swap, we're gonna do SD82. I'm just making sure I don't mess with that. So this sounds like somebody just joined the chat.
I don't see anybody else.
The Linux user. William Armstrong joined too.
Oh, William. Hey, William. No, I don't know whom that is. Linux user. Not sure. It's that Garth. No, I don't know whom that is. Okay.
No, it's the Linux user.
Oh, snap.
The lamer user. I don't have my glasses
The
on.
lamer Linux, yeah.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, they're
Sorry
lame,
about that, dude. I'm trying to get with it.
Okay. X4. I gotta remake these partitions. I messed it up. I'm gonna press OK. I hope TJ will come in. If he doesn't, oh well, it's not a big deal. So, 2. Let's see. Done. Get SD1.
How many are you allowed to have in here?
As many as we want. I think. Urgency.
Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we?
Yes, we will. Hi, Lamer. Hope you're having a nice night, buddy. Installer mirror list. I'm gonna do edit pacman.conf and color. And I love candy. Let's see what else I want to add. I'm gonna add my hackman repo. Why not? Hackman Linux.
Is there the option to enable color in that?
I already enabled that.
Okay. That's a habit of mine too.
Yeah, I'm just adding my custom hackman repo in the or in the Pacman. Why am I thinking freaking Gen 2? This is Arch, not Gen 2.
I did add Spatry's mcol repo to my vanilla Arch system.
Yeah, he's got Compiz in there and a couple of other things.
Normally I wouldn't do that, but I
How
trust
you been?
Spatry.
Hey, William, how you doing, my friend?
Fun. I had to pop in from direct YouTube chat rather, so there you go.
That's fine. What we're doing in this, William, is we are updating my custom manjaro remix.
Oh, if I had a netbook to try yours on, I would, but I'm kind of out of a computer right now.
That's okay. You can add. Oh, crap! I made a. Yes. Oh crap! I made a mess up. Let me edit this again.
For those of you who don't know, there's a distro test site that I wanted to get the word out on for people to try.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll include it in the show notes when I'm done with this.
But the only drawback here is the site may get so much traffic that the servers may get jammed with a lot of traffic to where other people can't get to try Linux distro live over the internet. You can use the VNC server connection or through a web browser.
Oh, you mean that website? Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Where you can actually try the distro through your web browser. Yeah, I forget the name of it though.
Distro test is what I've loved since rather than you owning a computer, I would just try Linux live over the internet without needing to have a physical machine.
Yeah, folks, the reason I'm making so many typos tonight is because I'm not used to this SSH client that I'm running.
Ben, what kind of client are you using SSH style?
It's MOBA extern.
I'm a pro at using a thing called Tiger VNC or
Cool.
Kite VNC, one of the two.
Unfortunately, this is not a VNC connection. This is SSH. So.
Well, he's doing it through a Windows machine, so that.
Yeah, I'm doing it through Windows.
That the VNC connection is insecure because someone was able to browse my computer remotely with the password set. So something, the password got sent unencrypted over the internet, unencrypted.
That's odd.
Well, because
that's why I use TeamViewer or SSH usually.
Well, because it's easy enough if you do a Linux to Linux, just open up your terminal and type in SSH host name, whatever. But if you I don't know, Windows to Linux.
I done it to a Windows, from an Android phone to a Windows machine where VNC'd and it worked, but somehow the password got captured on the internet being sent over the internet for some strange reason.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I would suggest to be careful with VNC connections because they're insecure. They only sends the information out from your phone, but through the internet it's insecure. So someone can capture the password over the internet and get from there. But I could tell the symptom was my Microsoft account kept getting accessed even though I wasn't accessing it when I was at my computer in front of it at the time. So my Microsoft Authenticator app kept giving me a prompt that someone wants to sign in. So I hit deny and went to my computer and saw the mouse cursor move. So I immediately shut off the internet real quick to take care of it.
I do have TeamViewer installed, but I only use it if I absolutely need to help someone.
But I hate to break it to you, but my TeamViewer account is permanently locked out. So is my LastPass, Firefox, all locked out.
That's a problem.
The two-factor authentication I use got me permanently locked.
That'll do that.
So Mozilla, TeamViewer, LastPass, and Twitter, they won't help me get back in, so I have to leave those accounts up. Oops.
Yeah.
No, that's the time where it's like a difficult decision to make. But like, if I was in your shoes, I'd just create new accounts and just like be more careful with them.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I have plans on getting a computer that's low powered, such as a Dell Inspiron Mini with the Intel Atom processor in it, since a single board computer like Raspberry Pi won't work for me.
No, Steve. We're building a custom distro of Manjaro is what we're doing.
Can I explain why it won't work for me?
Go ahead, no problem.
The problem with the Raspberry Pi is they use an ARM processor, and half the Linux distros I use support AMD and Intel, but some of them may support ARM, some might not. And the fact of the matter is, I don't know if the PowerPC processor is still supported to this day with modern Linux or not, or if it's gone with the dinosaurs.
Well,
I have gone to the dinosaurs, put it that way.
I have like little to no experience with Raspberry Pis or ARM, but what I can tell you is there's a community edition of Arch that is for ARM processors.
I've got this thing, Ben, that is actually powered by Android, by Act Games Legend Flashback. It uses Android 7.1.1 Nougat.
Ooh, cool.
Nice.
Yes, it does use Android Nougat, but it's a modified version of Nougat. It has a recovery menu that is accessible this apart hit a black button inside while turning it on and bring it to a recovery with limited functionality.
Hey Ben, I gotta be honest, man. I've been using Arch since January, and I've been loving it. You're making me want to go to Manjaro.
What, by building a custom version of it?
Just like the way that it's building, it looks like to me it looks like Manjaro's like is based on Arch, but it looks like it's really coming into its own thing here.
My big question for y'all is, why do y'all think netbooks such as a Dell Inspiron Mini or HP Mini or Asus EPC don't cut it anymore?
I mean, well, I think one of the big issues is the internet. Web browsers are very resource heavy, and so like
Yeah,
you can use like an older machine with less system resources. Just don't expect to do any heavy web browsing or anything useful with it. And it's not anything you did or anything,
Hmm.
you know.
Manjaro is much easier, I will admit. It makes Arch simple, and if you don't want to have to go through the painstaking process of redoing Arch again, I would recommend. Just doing something like Arco or Manjaro or what have you.
Yeah, if this Arch system ever
To be-
breaks on me, you know, knock on
fair
wood.
here, Ben.
Go ahead.
I would
Were
be
you gonna
fair
say
with
what?
y'all and say that I would have used a Dell Inspiron.
I was gonna say that if my Arch system ever breaks on me, I'd probably go the Manjaro route
Yeah, that's true.
because
Didn't
not
mean to
really.
cut y'all
It's
off,
not.
but I wanted to chime in and say,
I've had Manjaro break on me 4 times. I'm kind of done with them.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
I've never had Arch Linux go kaput on me. I've never had it go thonk, but I've had Debian Unstable go thonk intermittingly.
I've never had Arch. I've had Arch break on me when I've broken it.
Yeah. Now,
The thing with
I have a question for you guys. So this is what's weird, okay? So we're looking here at I don't know if you guys let me go to. So here we have my FedEx thing. It's a laptop that's a HP laptop that's coming in the mail.
It's an arse.
Yeah, it's no, that's just the company that sold it on eBay, and it's coming from Georgia to me, and it's already arrived in Independence, Kentucky as of tonight at 9:28 p.m. and I'm in Louisville, and I'm like, what the heck? Because it says up here at the top that it's supposed to come on the 29th. But the funny thing is, as of tonight, it got to Independence, Kentucky. So I'm like, this is confusing, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very. The
What do you
29th is
That
Monday.
fast shipping.
No, it's standard shipping, William.
Hmm.
And it's supposed to arrive
that's
today
fast
between
coming
10:30 and
from
12:35.
Georgia.
That's on the 29th.
then.
Maybe your package is not paid for to run through the weekend.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't know if that's the case, but yeah.
Yeah, Lamer makes a good point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. But regardless, I don't know if it's coming tomorrow or the Monday. That's what's concerning me. That's what I'm a little unsure about.
Hmm.
So
Looks like it's
sorry
had-
about it. I didn't mean to interrupt, but how does this? Oops.
Yeah, I'm getting a couple of
How does
FTP
this-
errors. So what? Go ahead.
How does this site or how does this thing Jitsi know you want to let people know you want to speak? How does it tell you that?
I'm not sure.
It just says Ben would like to speak. I guess it showed a gray bar that he wants to talk. So either some app is suggesting it or something.
Yeah, it's
which Ben? I didn't click anything.
Ben Fitzpatrick.
Oh,
I don't know.
I think there's a thing to raise your hand.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, down like in
I don't
the
know.
Yeah, at the bottom there's a hand.
Left-hand corner, there's a hand. It says raise hand, lower hand.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Looks
it
like
says,
it's-
I would like to speak.
Yeah.
Wait,
I don't see it on mobile app though. I've got it on Google Play. Oh, I see it. Duh, I found it.
I'm gonna go with.
So I guess I'll have to raise my hand if I want to.
Yeah, you can do that if other people are talking. You want to say something. Back. Okay, that's done. So let's refresh the Pac-Man keys. This part on Arch always takes a lot.
Okay, I raised my hand. Now I gotta lower. Now I have to. Now when I talk, it lowers it automatically. That's great.
Yeah. But either way, I'm going to show you the machine that I got while we're waiting. Hey, Present Arms, how you doing, brother? I'll repost the Jitsi link in case people want to drop in. There we go.
Okay,
But,
what I
yeah.
need to say is, have you ever checked out Macari on Android?
Macari?
Yes.
I don't even know what the heck that is. Yeah, this is the
Let me explain
HP.
it. It's
Sorry.
kind
Go ahead.
of a way you get to buy stuff on it. The seller ship it to you. Once you get the item, you got to rate your transaction, and the seller gets the money from Macari as a middleman.
Oh, so it's kind of like a man in the middle purchase kind of thing.
Yes, they send you the item, you rate the transaction, and they'll give the money back to the seller through PayPal from your credit card or PayPal account directly. Kind of like with eBay, what you're doing with Ben on eBay, but except Macari is what they hold your money until you rate the transaction, and then they pass it to the seller.
Okay. Freaking eBay showing my
If you're not
address.
satisfied with your item, or if your item does not get here on time, or arrives late, or does not arrive as expected, they'll refund you back. Or the shipping
Okay. Gotcha. That's pretty cool.
Therefore, I plan on getting my next computer, which is a Dell Inspiron Mini with $35 without the charger to it. But I can go without the charger because I'm not going to use it right away.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to view the original item of this.
In my town, there's an area called Free IT Store where they do like a volunteering thing where you can volunteer and get a free Linux computer or desktop or an all-in-one or a laptop after 12 or 30 hours of service.
Oh, cool. But yeah, this laptop has a Core i5 2410M 2.3 gigahertz with Intel HD 3000 graphics and 4 gigs of RAM. But I'm going to be upping the RAM.
I would.
What's the
I
maximum
would
RAM
rather
that
take a
can...
netbook or single.
I'm going to have to Google the CPU and find out. i5 2410M.
I would rather take the computer that can allow me to have it kind of like a Mac Power PC style, but not the processor based on a Power PC core, but enough to emulate like a Mac, like not really
Okay,
run a
here we go.
Macintosh on, but
Yeah, okay, so we're looking at the CPU here. It's 2 cores, 4 threads. The
Ooh.
turbo boost is, the base clock is 2.3 gigahertz, but the max turbo frequency is 2.9. And it comes with, it can run up to 16 gigs of RAM, but I only have 8 gigs for it. So, yeah.
Looks like the maximum is 16
Well, I would
gigs of
rather
RAM.
take
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a monster.
I think
Yeah.
there's a
And-
mini ITX board you can get.
Hold on, William. But yeah, the graphics max error frequency is 1.20 gigahertz. So yeah, and it's got ADP, external DisplayPort, HDMI, and yeah.
Yeah, I can live with that. 16 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
I would
I mean-
rather have a mini ITX board that could max the RAM out to 32 gigs, like hit that RAM limit of 32 gigs and be good. And be all set to take off.
Yeah.
I got 32 gigs in this thing.
Yeah.
Jeez, man, I'm jealous of you. Only computers I've had have 4 gigs of RAM each.
Yeah. I'm gonna put 8
Mine's
gigs
got
for now.
16.
I'm
Yeah.
jealous of you too.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
try and get later on. I'm gonna try and get 2 8 gig sticks into this laptop.
Right
I would
now, I
rather take a-
find 16 to be sufficient, even to run a virtual machine.
I
Yeah.
would rather take 2 gigs of RAM or a gig just to mainly run it for not really virtual machining, but to visit basic websites or email, not virtual machining.
Why do my partitions get unmounted?
Yeah.
Daggone it.
Well, this thing's got 8 threads, 32 gigs of RAM. So when I create a virtual machine, I always give it four threads or 4 cores, and I give it 10 gigs of RAM.
Well, to make things
10
simplified
gigs
here, I
of
would
RAM?
To a virtual
That's
machine.
kind of extreme.
Yeah, but my system can
I
afford
give
it.
mine the most 4.
Oh,
But to be fair here, Ben, and I forget your name, the one in the next to Ben, I forget.
Dan.
Dan.
Which Ben?
The one next to
Dan?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Dan.
Yeah, I'm Dan.
yeah.
Dan, the other Ben that, to me, I would have just made a computer that is like a Power PC style, but let the virtual machine eat up 3 CPU cores, 1 the main machine.
Hmm.
But I don't really know how much Power PCs have, like the Power PC processors, how many cores or threads in it.
Oh, stinking Manjaro is not mounting my partitions. I just enabled them and it's not letting me go forward.
Can y'all hear me well?
I'm about ready to
Yes.
So if I jump from Arch to Manjaro, is that considered a distro hop?
I
Or is
would,
that,
Yes.
yes, it's considered distro hopping. Yeah.
That's like me switching from Debian unstable to Debian stable, or switching from Debian stable to testing or unstable, like jumping separate branches within the
That's
same
called distro
distribution.
hopping.
okay, so I'll just say this: I can't promise I'll stay on vanilla Arch, but I can pretty much decide that I'll stick to the Arch family for now. It's
My
been
big
good to
question
me.
for Ben and Dan and the other Ben is, well, do y'all like to stay with stable stuff, but why is it if I mention Debian unstable or unstable rolling release, people say it's going to break on you at some point at any given moment?
Because it could.
Yeah,
I've
that's
had some
true.
instances. I've had some instances where Debian testing broke on me when I tried to upgrade everything. It completely went kaput and take everything out. I tried to do it, but Seduction's an unstable system that's based off of Debian, but from Debian designed to be rolling.
Well, I'll tell you this: the only issues I've had with my Arch system, with apps breaking or having bugs, is with like obscure apps, like penetration testing apps, things that the average user isn't going to use, like, and that are buggy anyway. In any distro, you're going to use them in. And so, like the things that the everyday user is going to use have been perfectly fine for me. And from what I've seen with fixed releases, I've noticed on the rolling release, like certain bugs will get fixed quicker. They might come down the pipeline quicker, but they get fixed like almost the next day. And with like a fixed release, I've noticed that that if you get a bug in a version number and you're stuck on that version, you're stuck with that bug until the next point release comes out or whatever. But that's just my preference.
For y'all.
Use what works for
Okay.
you.
The bad news for y'all is if y'all have VLC Media Player, uninstall it because there's been a vulnerability found big time in it.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Plus space devel.
That's kind of there's it depends on which newspaper you're reading.
It's
Actually,
from a
the
tech site I
company
went to.
Linux 5.3.
Well, what it was, Dan, is I saw it on my Google app. When I went to Google something, it showed a VLC vulnerability was detected, and it reported on my Google Now feed. And I was like, "Uh-oh, not again."
Everything.
Yesterday they put out an article on some other tech, more popular one newspaper, that the VLC thing, the people that make VLC cannot actually duplicate it.
Well, but I read it was a vulnerability that required you to uninstall it immediately.
I mean, I have VLC on my iPhone too, and I got a ton of music videos attached to it. And I'm not going to tear apart my phone just because there's a snafu in VLC.
Well, I didn't know about it until I went on Google Now, and it showed there's a security problem that enables people to access parts of the computer that normally wouldn't with it.
Well, there's something's funny is going on because a lot of distros now are shipping without VLC. They're choosing something else.
Well, Debian never ships with it in the first place. It only ships with Firefox. And
Debian don't come with nothing anymore. I got Debian 10 on another drive, Buster.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it never did.
It doesn't come with CMake. It doesn't come with Make. You gotta download stuff to make it start up and work, and the repositories have no really good packages in it. Like, Buster they're like bone dry at the store.
Oh, man. Well, I'm not mad at anyone who uses Linux. No, I just gave up on it because half the stuff I try to find is not available. Like Steam is not available in Fedora unless you enable a non-free repo. Mageia, it works. It's available in Mageia. But again, Fedora is kind of a pure minimalist bone dry distro where it has no proprietary stuff, including Steam, which you need that if you want to play your Steam games in.
Oh.
Again, that's just my complaint with Fedora.
Yeah. Gnostic, that CPU we were talking about, it's dual core, I believe, yeah. With 2 cores and 4 threads. So yeah,
my only
that's a dual
complaint
core.
here, Ben and Dan, is why did Windows XP appear on Dell netbooks in early 2008? That was a stupid choice.
Well, sorry guys, I have to fix my mirror list. Hold on.
Well, Windows XP is rock solid. That's the reason why.
Hey, Lamer.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good, buddy. How about you?
That's all right.
Windows XP may
So
have
nice.
been rock solid, but it was also the most attacked thing that collected malware.
Yeah, like a lot of people use Windows XP because how rock solid it was, but it was mostly longer supported by Microsoft than any other Windows operating system.
Well, Windows 7 fixing to go out of date alongside with that, and Windows 8 later on in 2023.
Yeah, it looks like in the Arch repos, VLC has recently been updated. Gnostic is right; it might have been patched by now. Like mine was just updated.
Why is
VLC? There was a version of it that was vulnerable, prompting everyone to get rid of it completely.
Wait, I misread that. It got updated on last month in June.
Yeah, I'm running.
Yeah, see, there's a
3.0.
lot of conflicting articles out on the internet in different newspapers.
See, I always got told if it's a third party plugin that infected everyone. So as long as you don't install that third party plugin, you're good.
Yeah, that's true.
But I can't verify.
They got one for GNOME too. There's a GNOME virus out.
Yep.
It's called Evil GNOME.
GNOME either. Yep.
Oh no.
Oh,
Evil GNOME.
The article here says.
See, the funny.
Here's why you need to uninstall VLC Media Player right now. Well, it's on Mashable, guys, so we gotta believe it.
But that's funny that they targeted the Evil GNOME to one desktop only. That's just GNOME.
Oh, I know.
Not even.
Yeah, not only that, you get it through a GNOME extension, so you got to be in favor of a particular GNOME extension to cripple your GNOME with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we starting to see Linux get attacked more? Like, what gives?
Linux is...
It's getting more popular.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't get crazy because this article here says at the moment there have been no reported cases of hacking, but with the huge number of VLC users across various platforms, the situation calls for urgent attention. Thankfully, Videoland has already acknowledged the issue and has begun working on a fix. The patch is about 60% complete and will be pushed once complete. So they're on it, guys.
Yeah,
I read that 2 days ago.
It's
That
probably
got
already.
debunked yesterday. Word for word, I read that 2 days ago.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised that that Linux becomes more popular the more it's opening itself up to a bunch of cyber attacks. Like Windows XP was a malware magnet, a malware Hoover vacuum cleaner would suck up all the malware it could ever get.
Sure.
Right now, Linux is more of a attack on servers than home users.
Okay, I'm confused about something. I don't know if I should go with kernel 419 or Linux 5 dot whatever.
Go with the new one, Ben. The 5.0 version.
I can go with 5.1, 5.2, and 5.3. I'm going to go with 5.3. Screw it.
Go with the higher version.
Go
because
with
the
your
newer
gut.
version may have fixes.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with minimal. I don't want to have to deal with that Microsoft. Go with minimal.
My God, we got the Matrix cooking here.
Yeah. Look at all
My
those
big
freaking
question
packages.
is, okay, I wouldn't mind taking a Dell Inspiron mini netbook off of eBay or something Windows XP already loaded on it, even though I cannot get online with it, which is a bad idea, but it still wouldn't hurt to play old games that use XP.
Yeah.
As long as you don't connect to the internet
I have an
and go to
XP.
random websites, you're good.
I have an XP disc with a volume license baked into it.
Nice.
Well, what kind of games are you trying to play from XP?
Yeah.
Well, games that are like The Sims 2 and older ones that I have that require old versions of XP to run, or Windows up to Windows 10 can run the games I've got, but some you may require to run well on an older version of Windows, like
Oh
no.
no.
That's like me.
Hey, no.
I had a
Pause
game that
off the keyboard, sir.
I had a
What was
game
your-
called I have a game called Star Wars KOTOR. I think it's on PC on Steam. I believe I brought that one.
Yeah.
Or that, or
I don't think
Yeah,
Steam.
that,
I don't think Steam supports Windows XP anymore.
no.
No, well, you can still log into it. You just won't get updates on it.
Oh,
I
okay.
meant, well, what I meant to say was not Star Wars KOTOR. It was a game called Rayman 2 for PC. I got on my GOG account that flickers on a Windows 10 environment where the screen would flash black in regular to desktop more than 3 times before the game begins, almost giving me like a seizure attack.
That's annoying.
Yes, I had to figure it had something to do with DirectX, where the DirectX part was causing it to blink in and out. Then after it finishes blinking, the game would launch full screen. But I'm like, why is my desktop flashing at me to start the game when it goes to the game after finished flashing more than several times?
Yeah, that's really weird. I'll bring it back. I'm going to run downstairs and get a thing of cereal and some soda. I'll be right back.
That almost sounds like it's a graphics issue.
Well, I mean, the computer I had was an old thrift store computer that someone got from the thrift store. That was an old HP desktop, like a business machine that had a laptop like motherboard that you cannot upgrade the graphics, or you can change the processor, but the graphics upgrade is unavailable because it's embedded. But the RAM you could change, but you just couldn't change the graphics processor at all. Permanently embedded in, like made into the board. So
You're stuck with it.
yeah, and the computer sorted itself out when there was a lot of dust buildup. I had to remove a faceplate to clean out the dust. The faceplate broke, and then the power button started to break after that, killing out the whole computer. Oops.
Yeah, oops.
So I'm still without a machine to this day, so I was like, well, that's the end of that machine. The only way I could sort it out was a screwdriver to the power supply wire. It's used an external power supply, but the motherboard was so small that the power supply had to be outside of the unit. So I shorted the power switch on the computer to turn it on, and it worked. But then again, the short sent the wrong current to somewhere on the board, and it wouldn't fully turn on anymore, other than the green light turns on. Oops. Yeah, I learned a lesson. Never let dust build up on a computer so long you can't clean it out.
Yeah, they do need cleaning regularly.
And this one was a fan powered unit, so I kept cleaning it every like less than 3 months. But again, I would take a Dell Inspiron netbook that uses no fan. It won't draw a lot of dust because it's using cool air to move rather than on a fan. What do you think, Dan, about netbooks
Yeah, I
that
had like
don't
little.
use a fan? What do you
Netbooks.
think about? Yes.
Like
I never really had one. I've always had a sturdy laptop or a desktop.
Well,
netbooks
I
were. You know, my honest opinion about netbooks, they were they were dead before they were invented
Yeah.
because the tablet was already coming out and there was really no use for it. It was like Blu-ray players. People were moving away from physical media. So you have this Blu-ray, this beautiful HD quality disc, but nobody's using discs anymore. It's the same thing with the netbooks. You come out with the netbooks, but hey, everyone's on tablets now. Nobody sees a need to use
Well,
the keyboard.
I still have a Blu-ray player, and there's still services. And Netflix still has their mail the disc to you and keep it, for as long as you want, or a bunch of discs. They have the disc through the mail program still, and you can often get movies right when they're done at the theaters. They come out on rent, so you can get them before you can stream them.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Well, the thing with me here, Dan and Ben, is that I like the Dell Inspiron Mini 1012. I did a YouTube video on about it that I liked. It was a Windows 7 based netbook I ordered off Amazon once from a seller. They shipped it to my house. They were able to cover the warranty due to a defective battery and a loose power supply charging port. So they did a door tag to get it from me and send it back to them through FedEx. They sent me another one when the other one was defective coming back to them. The only known problem is the seller agreed to do it outside of Amazon because Amazon would sting them pretty hard if the product was defective. So the seller had to ignore Amazon's North Korea like policies and go behind their back because Amazon would ding the seller up pretty hard for selling a defective unit.
Hmm.
The reason why I
So I
call
had a
Amazon
little. I had a little note netbook that I got from. Actually, my mom used to have it. Then I had a wreck, and my laptop got damaged from the wreck, so I used that netbook for college. I ran MX on it. It originally came with Windows 7 Starter, and Windows 7 Starter was a crappy, lightweight OS.
Yeah.
Oh, that
well,
was hot garbage. But you
my,
know what
my
was you know what worked
Mhm.
great on netbooks was ironically enough, I like the Unity desktop on a netbook.
Yes.
But I would rather take the Dell Inspiron Mini 1012 I did a video on was also a netbook with a full-size laptop hard drive, and it automatically was a fanless unit. But I did see an HP Mini one time with Windows 7 that had a fan in it. But my only complaint with things like some netbooks that have a built-in fan is why you put a fan in a small mini netbook that is so weak and underpowered when you can't put a whole lot in a netbook being very small. A fan wouldn't fit in there.
Sometimes a heat sink is not enough.
I think it depends on what you want to do. I mean, like I'm one of those guys. I like portability, but I'm a little more concerned with like the power of the machine too.
Well,
Like
Windows 7 on the Dell Inspiron Mini 1012 was so powerful that it made the netbook feel even hotter and slower. It even pushed it a little too far.
Yeah, it can make the processor throttle back.
See, the netbooks are
Yes,
real
I
good
could tell.
for if you want a cheap laptop, and if you're a college student, just need something that be able to type papers and just browse the web for researches. It was great for that.
But it's never meant to do anything other than that. But I did make one
No,
netbook run. I did manage to make The Sims 2 run on a netbook on a Windows 7 netbook, and it ran. It never gave any too much problems. It ran, but it was a little slow starting, but the gameplay got smoother as it continued to run for more than 1 hour. It was just first slower when I first tried it on a netbook. So, y'all, I'm going to hear people screaming at me saying, why would you put a 3D game on a netbook? I just wanted to try to see what happens, and it worked.
Heck, I put Minecraft on a netbook before to see how it runs.
Yeah,
It
I
boots
assume.
up, it lag.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not surprised.
The Sims 2 would work on a netbook, even though the game is a decade old, so it would run fine on a Windows XP netbook, even though it's over a decade. But the one rare game I've
Yeah,
got
it
is
just
called
seems.
Oops.
Oh, go ahead.
What the one game I have is designed for computers that are slower is rare. Is called The Sims Life Stories. It's a rare version of The Sims that runs on laptops and older, slower computers. So I would use that version of The Sims 2, called The Sims Life Stories, on an old netbook that has 2 gigs of RAM and meets the minimum requirements to run the game fully. It's mainly designed for a laptop. It's like laptop friendly is what it's called. I know y'all are Linux users, but some of y'all are not into the Sims series, so.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, I'm in The Sims actually.
Hmm?
I used to play the crap load of Sims 2. Sims 3 was alright. Sims 4, it got a little better. It just they took away some features.
Hi, the Lamer Linux. I know who you are now. Your voice gave you away who you are.
Yep.
A lot of people know that guy.
Well, The
Now I
Sims
just
2,
haven't been making videos long.
The Sims 2 I've loved is fine, but I just rather get myself on a netbook or a simplified single board computer that is not a Raspberry
Oops.
Pi because it's an ARM machine.
Oh no, I just picked ZSH by mistake.
Ooh.
You don't like
Uh-oh.
ZSH?
No, I like it. It's just I was trying to pick Bash for ease of simplicity.
Ah,
Well, what computer would y'all recommend to a person like me that's looking for something that doesn't require massive resources to run?
Say again.
What computer would y'all recommend for a person like me that loves computers but is not looking for a computer that requires a whole lot of resources to run almost everything you want to do? Only just the bare want to do like web browsing or watching videos, but not meant for big high performance 3D games that would push an older machine to its limits.
See, I think the ThinkPads be pretty good. Though those great, cheap, refurbished laptops. I got the T430 and it works just fantastic.
ThinkPads are tanks, man.
Yeah,
They double as a weapon.
I love my ThinkPad.
Good.
Yeah, I could throw someone in. It'll hurt him.
I would
But
rather
this
take
one,
a
it's
Dell
a
Inspiron-
i5. This one's a i5 processor. I can actually upgrade it if I want to i7 quad-core processor.
hey William.
I would rather take a Dell Inspiron.
View. Look at you see my camera? This is the power of a
Yeah.
ThinkPad right here. This is all running from this ThinkPad. 32 gigs of RAM in here.
Mm-hmm.
i7.
Darn.
Yep.
i7, 8 threads. And it can handle, I think,
You're lucky to have things like that.
this thing cost me $500. Like a little bit less.
Ow.
All right.
That's pretty cheap for what this is, man.
Finally, Manjaro is installed.
Just look for a
Well, I would afford a netbook that's called a Dell Inspiron Mini
ThinkPad
9 or
that has
Mini that's like $35.
no.
You cut out there, Delamer. You kind of cut out there a little. I'm staring at your window or your ceiling tiles, Miss.
I was saying I got mine for $300.
Yeah, 300 is not bad.
Oh.
Well, because I customized this one a lot. I bought the I had to buy the 32 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
Bought the drive caddy. You know, got the docking station here and all that.
Uh-oh. Grub didn't come up. I don't think it installed
You
it.
do now.
Did you ask it to install it?
I could have sworn I did, but
Just ask nicely.
yeah.
Please, Mr. Manjaro.
Manjaro. All I'm trying to do is make a freaking remix. Would you play nice, please?
Might I have some grub,
Well,
please?
I wonder, but I think Ben has made it clear to me that installing Gentoo on a netbook is a horribly bad idea.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. It's just a very long and tedious idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that would take a good chunk of time.
Just like how Ben tried to do it on my desktop I had before, it took more than 1 hour to build everything.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It took me 5 days on a machine with 8 gigs of RAM and 4 cores.
Day.
Yeah,
Well, why couldn't a supercomputer that has 32 gigs of RAM or higher and over more than 4 CPU cores handle Gentoo really, really quickly, less than an hour?
Not this one, even this one, with all its 32 gigs of RAM and glory, gave me more problems than it was worth with Gentoo. And I set up the make.conf exactly the way the site told me to. It was still taking just way too long.
yeah.
Well, I mean, Gentoo Linux, in my opinion, is a fine distro. It's just it will anger people who are even experienced at it, who have experiences with it, like me.
Well, I think you should install things like that to learn from it.
I
Yes, you
learned from
should.
it, but I couldn't get the Trinity desktop environment to work. The KDE 3.5 remake of it couldn't get that to run. Ben, even he tried to help me with it, but it wouldn't work.
Well, I think Trinity is like not that very well, like the Trinity desktop environment you're talking about, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I wouldn't have picked that. I picked. Oh, but you have a less resources machine. That's right.
Yeah. I think Trinity would run fine on an older machine.
Yeah.
But Gentoo is not allowed because Gentoo's repository for everything won't
Heck,
work.
XFC and
Like
LXC
the
will.
requirements don't work.
No. Yeah, XFC is also a good choice.
Well, if you're willing to try new things, maybe try a minimal window manager.
No, that's always fun.
Yeah. Open box and everything.
Well, I've tried a way to install Gentoo through the manual installation, which Ben taught me how, and I got good at it. I've gotten good at it before I met Ben.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I also have, and I also,
Yeah, I mean, Gentoo is not hard. It's just time consuming and takes a lot of patience and practice and stuff like that.
But for those who are in it or unexperienced with it, there is a Gentoo distribution that installs Gentoo the base system for you in a live DVD environment. I forget the name of it, called Slantu, I think, or something.
Slantu is deprecated.
Okay, there was a live distribution that I could use to install a base system Gentoo without going through the manual installation. I forget the name of it.
Sabayon.
Yeah, there's Sabayon and there's Calculate, and there's a new one called Bin2 as well.
One that uses a Linux Mint-like installer, sort of.
No.
Well, guys, I need to hop off because it's kind of late and I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm gonna be
All right,
jumping
night,
off.
Garth.
I'm gonna be jumping off soon too.
Yeah, I think Ben's
Yeah.
on Central Time. I'm on Eastern Time.
I'm
I'm
on
on
Eastern
Central, too.
as well.
I'm on Eastern too. And I gotta be. It's 11:45 here. I gotta be up at
It's
4.
10:46 here.
All right. Well, I'll see you guys later, okay?
All right, night, Garth.
Night.
Still here.
Well, my mirror that I picked did not work.
Oh, man. Well, I wanted to make it clear here that obviously I don't know why I love the Dell Inspiron Netbook series, but I just do because it's so many and less pure parts.
Oh, wait.
There was like a certain year that the Dell Inspirons actually caught on fire because their laptops got overheated pretty fast. Actually, I had
I
them
had a Dell
one
Inspiron
laptop.
1525. But I had a Dell Inspiron 1525 that lasted more than 1 year, but the AC adapter got too hot, or I had to call Dell and tell them that they had an overheating problem with one of the AC adapters.
Nice.
We had a Dell Inspiron that came with Windows Vista, and if you use it so long, the actual laptop gets hot to the touch.
Hmm.
That's
You mean the battery gets hot, or the whole unit becomes
The whole
burning
unit.
hot?
I had a MacBook Pro that got so hot that the keys on the keyboard actually buckled.
Wow.
Ew. Well, I managed to overheat a Dell Inspiron Mini 1012 while running Linux on it, and it got so hot that it made it a little too hot to touch, and it started to slow
Guys,
down.
I'm just gonna jump off here. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right. Good night, Benjamin.
Good night.
I'm still here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be jumping off. My internet is not want to take it tonight.
I'm on my mobile data,
Alright.
and mine's taking it.
Yeah, my internet's been acting up like this whole week, so
All right.
don't know what the problem
Well,
is.
thank you all for
It's just
coming.
the
Hopefully,
ISP.
all right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream then if you guys are getting a little tired. So, all right. Well, thanks
Yeah.
everybody. Hope you all liked it,
All right.
and we'll see you all next time for part 2.
All right, take care,
later,
all.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.